So the first interview you're going to have will most likely be with the HR person. So she's not technical person, meaning that you're not going to discuss the design. You're going to discuss all the other stuff that are important for your future work. And number one goal for that interview from HR perspective is this person right fit for our company? And your own goal is going to be, how can I present myself that I look like I am perfect candidate? And the second is to find out, do I really want to work for this company? That's also important. Before the interview itself, you need to do the preparation, and the preparation has three parts. One would be to research the company, the second one is to go through your experience, and the third one is to connect the dots. So why do you want to do the research? Because you want to learn about the company itself, and then you want to figure out as many as possible things that overlaps with your own experience. The more things you have in common, you're going to become a better fit. How you're going to research the company? You're going to go on their website, go on their LinkedIn. There on the website, you want to figure out who are their clients or who are their users, what kind of projects are they working on, like for what industries, etc., etc. So based on the projects, you can figure out what skills do they expect that their designers have. In example, if you see they have a lot of banks or other financial institutions, probably they are going to expect that you're good with tables or with some other data heavy content, with the dashboards, with graphs. Ideally, what you can do is actually to find the insider from that company. How to do that? Go to their LinkedIn page, go under the tab, I think it's called people or something, and see who are the guys who are working over there. First, see if there's anyone familiar. If there is, great, just ping him, ask him a few things, how it looks like working in that company. If not, then maybe you can find some fellow designers over there, and then you can try to establish some kind of connection with that person, and to get any kind of feedback from the inside that maybe are not so directly written in that job ad. Ask all those stuff like what kind of the projects are working on, what skills are preferred. Maybe they're going to tell you, oh, currently we have a bunch of visual designers, but we uh, got some huge client and we need someone who's good with research or with user experience. So immediately you know, okay, I'm going to present the best things I have in my CV that are in regards to research. If they don't reply on LinkedIn, then you can go and use that one of those apps that extracts the email from the name of the company. It's there is one hunter.io. So you go over there, you type in the name of the company, and you type in the first and last name of that person. And usually, if it's some better and well-known company, you're going to get a proper email. But sometimes if there aren't enough data, then you're going to get 80% possibility of getting right email. But then you just try out different variations, first name dot last name at company.com, or first letter of that of first name, the last name at company.com, or maybe dash in between, or maybe vice versa. It depends on how badly you like to get to that person, or write to several people. If one doesn't reply, maybe others will be willing to reply. So once you find out about those stuff, that's something that you want to talk about during the interview. In example, if they're working for healthcare industry and you have some similar experience in the healthcare, that's something that you would like to mention at the first place. So as I said, number one goal would be for that person is that she would like to figure out, are you a good fit for their company? How is she going to do that? So she's going to compare your experiences with all the stuff that she has listed in her job ad. Through the research, you want to figure out what kind of company they are and what are they looking for. So that's about research. Second thing would be to go through your own experience, like open your CV, briefly scan it, and ask yourself, if I would be working in that company, why would I hire myself? Like, what out of these experiences gives me the most credibility, or like what is most valued stuff from here that would be huge reason why they would hire me. And most likely she's going to have your CV open in front of her, and she's going to ask you about different positions, about different companies, about your experiences, what you have been working over there, what did you learn, what was your motivation, also what is your motivation, why would you like to change, to switch the job, why would you like to work with us, and so on and so on. So you want to prepare all the answers up front. You don't need to go into details, but at least just to think briefly about it, because if you're not very experienced with the job interviews, people get nervous, and when you get nervous, it's most common thing that you start bubbling something. So you want to avoid that, and you want to be calm and in charge, and you want to present yourself in best possible way. So the third part of the preparation would be connecting the dots. That's where you should literally take your CV and go through it. Out of your CV, you need to find the things that are most suitable for their company. So if you go and check that list of the things they are asking for on their job ad, and what you found out through the research or through the communication with the fellow designer, your future colleague, that's something you want to point out. So like, what makes you unique and why you are the best possible fit for their company out of all the other candidates to work here. And all the time think about how they can benefit from this. So like what out of these skills they can use for themselves. So beside all of these stuff that you're going through your CV, two most common questions during these interviews are also when can you start, and the second one is salary, of course. So many people become nervous when they need to talk about money, but I don't think it should be an issue. How to avoid putting pressure on yourself for this question is that you want to prepare upfront what are you going to say. Once when they ask you, you want just to stay calm and confident and just to say those numbers and get your mouth shut. Like, do not over explain or do not look nervous or anything like that. When they ask you what's expected salary, number one, let them tell you, or like ask them at first, what is the budget for this position and for someone who has similar experience as I do. They always have a budget. If they didn't state it up front in the job ad, they have a budget. Their company that they're doing their finances. So what you want to get as much as possible, of course. So ask them. If they say it to you, that means you're good, they're open to talk, they're open to discuss. That's great. But if they don't tell you, then if they expect from you that you're going to say some number, don't go for a specific number, but rather use the range. In example, if your goal would be 3,000 euros salary, you want to ask yourself what would be the minimum wage under, what would be the number under I wouldn't accept this job. Let's say it's 2,500. So you say a range. On the lower side, you say 2,500, but you want to try to get as much money as you can. So you say on the high end, it's going to be 3,500 in example. So 3,000, which is your goal, is somewhere in the middle. But when you say it, don't overcomplicate things, don't over explain, just say it. Okay, then I would go, then first say higher amount, that's called anchor amount. So say I would accept a salary somewhere from 3,500 to 2,500, let's say, and then just keep your mouth shut. You said what you had and that's it. If it's online call, get yourself in a comfortable position, no distractions, prepare yourself a coffee or have a glass of water or go in the toilet before, just so that you can be chilled and relaxed and focused on what the other person is talking about, and be ready. You will need to talk a lot. That's something what they're expecting from you. And if they ask you, do you have any questions, like prepare as much questions as possible to ask them, because that's something which is also pretty valued. If I show the interest for their company, as I said, also your goal of the interview is to figure out, is this the right company for me? So use the advantage and ask as many questions as possible. Like try to come up with the questions so that you can understand, would this place be a good place for me? So don't focus only on money, but focus on the growth. Ask Am I going to have a mentor over there? Or like, what is a career path for someone like me? How do you help your employees to improve themselves? Like, I don't know, seminars, conferences. Do you allow them to buy books or whatever? Like, whatever you have in your mind, and try to figure out what is important for you, and then ask questions that will clarify for yourself, is this the right place for me, for my growth, for my future self?